I've got a special skill or a talent, or whatever way you got it, or maybe a gift. You might call it a gift of getting money out of rubbish. I think it's due for some batteries. My name's Lawrence and I'm a boot fairer. I'm not quite sure what they're called. I'm sure they've got a proper name, but I do boot fairs. I do boot fairs because it's my hobby. I enjoy it. Not only do I enjoy going away on a weekend, getting out in the open air, but selling a lot of rubbish and getting money from it. Old pair of bellows, very useful.
He first got into, well, when I first met him, he worked at Sotheby's, so he was always into antiques and used to go to antique fairs with his mum and dad. I used to tag along, but I was never very good at finding anything that was worth any money.
I found a Sinclair C5 in the skip once. Clive Sinclair, the computer guy, basically had this brilliant idea of a free-wheel, electric, battery-driven tricycle.
The Sinclair C5. It's a new power in personal transport.
Absolute failure. And they were made of plastic, and there was one thrown out on the skip. I thought, I'll have that. So I knocked on the door and they said, yeah, take it. So from there I put it on a boot fair and I earned a couple of £100, just like that.
When he first used to go to boot fairs, he would always come back with more. I felt more than he took. And I used to think it was a waste of time. He'd almost spent what he'd made. But now, not so much. I think he tends to go and he tends to sell because he tends to have the stall that's the most interesting, that's got most unusual things on it, rather than just clothes or people's old bits and bobs of household stuff.
I don't know half the stuff that's in here. As you can see, that's a thing of beauty. I'm not quite sure what, but there's two of them. It's knowing, seeing something and having that foresight to think, someone will have that, someone will buy that. Something is only worth as much as somebody will pay for it. So if you can think, well, they don't want that, but I know someone will have that, you can make money. And now we come to some boxes which have been in store for a while and I've bought over the years, just bits and pieces. That's an old taxi change giving machine full of half-a-crowns, pennies, sixpences, threepences. So someone will like that, because they've got an old taxi. That'd be good.
Very rarely that he, from our point of view, very rarely that he buys junk.
Someone may want, it's an old answering machine, we'll give that a go. That's an old Islamic picture. There's an old vase, early pre-war poster. It's a 1960s shade. Radio jukebox, very retro. A chocolate fountain.
Well, I say it's took, but he always proves me wrong and seems to manage to make quite a lot of money out of it.
I mean, I started boot fairing when I was a child, when I was a wee lad, with my mum and dad used to go to jumble sales before boot fairs used to be around. Jumble sales were the place to go to get the bargains, get second-hand goods, the bits that you didn't buy in the shop.
He most definitely gets his buying and selling bug from his parents. Particularly his dad, I think. His dad was very much like him, quite gregarious, bit of a joker. Yeah, Lawrence was brought up with that, and I think that was part of him.
That's nice. That is a thing of beauty. We're going to call him Dave. Let's see if we can sell Dave. Someone's going to want Dave. Okay, Dave, we're on for tomorrow. So this weekend is really the first boot fairing weekend, the proper weekend. It's the first bank holiday weekend in May. So over a period of days there'll be boot fairs in the morning and afternoon, and everybody will be out. It's the first outing. Everybody that's saved up their bits and pieces over the winter time, old Christmas presents and things they've had in the shed that they don't need anymore, obviously having a spring clean, it'll all be coming out this weekend. So it's going to be a busy weekend for boot fairing. This weekend we've got the Saturday, we're going to get everything ready, and that's loading up the van. And then we've got one boot fair in the afternoon, so we try the afternoon one because it's getting everything ready in that first part of the morning, and when we can get in the afternoon, we don't have to be there till about 9-10 o'clock when we set up, and so we'll be there all afternoon because it's going to be a nice day, so hopefully everyone's going to be out. Now that's what you call a well-packed van. Just tell me the best way to do this. But now it's tempting, rather than unload, is do I unload or do I go round? Because there's bargains to be had now, because everybody's getting the stuff out. I've got to make an effort. There's money to be made. And here, I've got one or two things to sell. Where do I start?
You never can tell how these all go. I mean, I think with Lawrence, he tends to lay out his stall, if you like, quite well. That makes it appealing, makes people come up and look at the stall, and he is so good at dealing with people, speaking to people. He doesn't take any nonsense.
So we've got here quite early. As you can see, we need to get here early because you have the first round of dealers come round that get in very early, and that's when a lot of your money's made with good stuff selling well. So as you can see, we're all set up, and it's a big one today. It's a first bank holiday weekend. It's a beautiful sunny day. Everybody's out for a bargain, and we're full of bargains.
He's an entrepreneur, we know, and he's a good salesman. He'll sell you anything. He'll sell coals to Newcastle, as they call it, and he's very pleasant with it. So I must say that, you know.
Where can you get another one of those for a £5? Do you know what? If I saw that for a £5, I'd buy that. So a bit of a haggling, but you've got to be able to enjoy the haggling. Otherwise you'll have a bad time. I love haggling. Come on, you all know this one. Moaning low.
How much was last price?
75.
Last price.
£70.
70
So you've done, and it'll save you on electricity as well. You know the cost of electricity at the moment. Just a bit of arm power. It's going a bit slow this morning. There's a lot of people. They've got short arms and long pockets this morning, I think. We need to get rid of some stuff, especially the bigger stuff we need to get rid of. We've been knocked down, half price and everything, but we sold some good bits, sold a bit of glass which I like to get rid of. Just need the big stuff to go.
12 quid.
This is a difficult sale, this one. Don't know if it's on the right place or not, or it's not the right time. Not enough dealers here today.
Just one mate called me. He has a boy, Dave.
We haven't sold Dave. Very sad, Dave's sad, he hasn't been sold. But then again, maybe he wants to stay with us. The record buyer's been round and nicked all the best ones out of them. I could do with some more. I need to sell some more stuff. It's slowly beginning to quieten down now, which is a bad sign. Just literally put that so you can see what it's like. Wet quits.
Yeah,
You give me that, That's it, we got that. Hey, we'd never work in high finance, would we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Couldn't do nothing with them, and he just every time one came in, he'd save it, and that was his pension.
Yeah.
He'd just sell one off every now and then. Yeah, half price.
Yeah, American.
£3 or American.
Yeah, I know it, yeah.
They're not dear at all, you know they're not
They
dear.
are. We would have had
Well,
them.
you would have had them if they were how much? 20 pence. Well, after a slow start, it's picked up quite well. You're managing to get rid of some of the big stuff, which is great. Means I don't have to put it back into the van and take it out of the van and then put it back into a van again. So I'm well happy. Well, that's it. The end of a very busy weekend, especially on the selling side. And basically we've sold a lot of rubbish. So if anybody's got a load of rubbish at home, it's worth clearing out the attic, clearing out the garage, clearing out all the back rooms and everything, and selling absolute rubbish, because rubbish makes money. So in total, I suppose it's nearly £800 with costs taken off. That's great for a bank holiday weekend boot fairing. I'm treating myself to a nice little beer, and I deserve it.
So that's incredible. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased. I mean, admittedly, he hasn't been around for 2 days over the bank holiday, which is a shame. But I think it's with him. It's part of his hobby as well. I mean, he likes making the money, but it is a hobby with him, and he enjoys it. And I enjoy the benefits.